Caitlin Clark is the reason why a lot of great things is going to happen for the WNBA. We have grown-ass men and women out here doing whatever they can to try to make sure that does not happen.
What would happen if one of the greatest basketball players ever witnessed the most gifted young athlete in the WNBA being singled out using dubious tactics? LeBron James' startling remarks regarding Alyssa Thomas's actions against Caitlin Clark have rocked the basketball world, and you're going to find out. Let me ask you a question first, though. Have you ever witnessed a professional athlete endure music, the kind of mistreatment Caitlin Clark has endured over her career? LeBron James' view of the WNBA was drastically altered by what he saw during the Phoenix Mercury game. Following LeBron James' comments, Alyssa Thomas is currently the target of criticism.
You know, I usually stay out of these conversations, but with Caitlin Clark, I can't stay silent anymore.
LeBron James feels that Caitlin Clark is getting the public support she deserves. LeBron James, one of the best basketball players in history, understands what it's like to deal with opponents who are determined to slow down exceptional skill through hard physical defense and intensive examination. He did, however, highlight one important point. This is where the discussion surrounding Alyssa Thomas gets even more interesting. LeBron James is aware of the distinction between moves that go too far and hard. Competitive basketball. He described it as the most cowardly act I've seen on a basketball court in decades. That's exactly what you heard.
I'm sick of watching Caitlin getting attacked. If the league doesn't step up and protect her, things are going to get ugly real fast.
Alyssa Thomas, that's what she does. She uses her body.
LeBron James responded right away when he saw the video of Alyssa Thomas pushing Caitlin Clark from behind as she was attempting to heel after getting poked in the eye. LeBron James has faced some of the most formidable opponents in basketball history, making him one of the sport's greatest competitors. Even still, he thought that Alyssa Thomas's behavior raised grave concerns about competitive integrity and sportsmanship. However, pay attention to what LeBron James had to say regarding the timing of that shove. Following his comments, Alyssa Thomas is currently the target of harsh criticism. Please like this video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Before we move on, let's return to the narrative. Now, the basketball legend addressed a topic that many fans have been talking about, but that few prominent people had officially discussed. It's one thing to play tough, championship-caliber defense. It's much different to take a cheap shot at someone when they're defenseless and not looking. LeBron James noted that he had experienced some of the most physically demanding periods in contemporary basketball. True rivals, in his opinion, don't wait until an opponent's back is turned to make a dubious maneuver. Instead, they confront each other head-on. And that's precisely what LeBron James claimed made it so hard to defend Alyssa Thomas's actions. However, there is currently a heated discussion about Alyssa Thomas's behavior due to LeBron James' comments. Alyssa Thomas's response following the event seemed to irritate the basketball legend the most. Alyssa Thomas responded by implying that fans and the media were unfairly condemning her, saying, "Damned if I do, damned if I don't." Rather than admitting that the play could have gone too far or expressing any regret, the discussion over the incident was only made more heated by that reaction. LeBron James asserts that the greatest victors and real competitors accept accountability for their acts, particularly when the safety of another player is at jeopardy. He maintained that exceptional athletes take responsibility and let their accomplishments speak for themselves rather than offering justifications. He believes that when a player concentrates on justifying dubious behavior rather than confronting it, it raises questions about how they approach competition. In this way, the conversation turned from basketball skill to professionalism and sportsmanship. LeBron James also highlighted Caitlin Clark's remarkable basketball IQ, deep shooting range, and ability to boost her teammates' play, all of which have made her one of the sport's brightest rising stars. However, he also stressed that safeguarding players and maintaining the integrity of basketball should always come first because he has a great deal of respect for the sport. Instead of worrying all the time about cheap shots or needless physical play, this exceptionally gifted young athlete should concentrate on realizing her boundless basketball potential. LeBron James claims that focusing on a great player rather than rising to the occasion with diligence, ability, and preparation embodies everything that is wrong with a competitive mindset. There are major issues with sportsmanship when a player is at risk and is subjected to needless contact. He believes that skill, discipline, and execution rather than dubious strategies should always be the deciding factors in basketball. The basketball community was quickly engulfed in heated discussion over those remarks. LeBron James also likened Caitlin Clark's physical treatment to the difficulties that many top athletes have had during their careers. He did clarify, though, that there is a significant distinction between tough physical basketball and behaviors that go too far. He commended Clark for managing the expectations that come with being one of the leading figures in women's basketball at such a young age. One of LeBron James' greatest arguments was that the league runs the risk of conveying the incorrect message that players may earn attention through controversy rather than honing their basketball skills if it doesn't prohibit needless or risky acts against its biggest stars. He believes that the league's continuing expansion depends on safeguarding top players while preserving fair, competitive basketball. LeBron James even contended that the league runs the risk of sending the incorrect message to the upcoming generation of players if it doesn't react effectively to these kinds of situations. He believes that instead of questionable plays or needless violent altercations, young athletes can watch the WNBA to learn about elite skill, unwavering work ethic, teamwork, and sportsmanship. Despite these obstacles, LeBron James' trust in Caitlin Clark's future was arguably the most potent aspect of his viewpoint. He said that every attempt to scare or dissuade Clark will just make her more determined to prove herself by skill, self-control, and basketball intelligence because adversity has a tendency of producing truly great players. LeBron James pointed out that exceptional players have always encountered physical defenses and rigorous scrutiny, drawing on his personal experience as one of basketball's biggest stars. He did stress, though, that Clark is juggling those difficulties with the intense media attention and expectations that come with being one of the most well-known figures in women's basketball. Because of this, LeBron James believes that helping athletes like Clark is about more than just supporting one gifted athlete. It's about preserving the integrity of the sport itself. According to him, Clark has many of the characteristics that make basketball great, including remarkable court vision, elite talent, a spirit of competition, and the capacity to motivate the next generation. Additionally, he emphasized that the WNBA is at a turning point in its history, and how it handles situations like this could have a lasting impact on its culture and reputation. They have two choices. Either they protect and highlight their finest players, allowing stars like Caitlin Clark to realize their full potential and improve the league overall, or they continue to permit poorer players to employ dishonest tactics to stay relevant. The message from LeBron James was unambiguous. The decision the league makes will determine its future. However, this is the query that everyone is posing. Will the WNBA safeguard Caitlin Clark as suggested by LeBron James, or will they keep letting athletes like Alyssa Thomas use dubious behavior to harm the league's reputation? Let's carry on the discussion in the comments section below. How do you feel about LeBron James' harsh critique of Alyssa Thomas's actions? Do you think his worries are entirely valid, or do you think he's being overly critical? More significantly, do you believe the WNBA will eventually take more aggressive action to safeguard its biggest star? I read all of the comments below, so please share your ideas. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and enable the notification bell so you never miss an update if you want to see more research like this that breaks through the clutter and investigates what's actually going on in the basketball world. LeBron James' comments have added even more attention to Caitlin Clark's plight in the WNBA, and the entire basketball community is watching attentively. As this story continues to unravel, one thing is becoming increasingly difficult to ignore. One game, one hard foul, or one contentious incident are no longer the topics of discussion. It concerns women's basketball's future, the standards the league hopes to maintain, and how its top players are handled in the public eye. Few athletes have ever faced the kind of expectations Caitlin Clark had before joining the WNBA. Every game she plays is followed by millions of admirers. Every action she does is examined from every perspective. Every accomplishment is honored and every failure makes headlines. Being one of the most well-known names in contemporary basketball is just that. In the meantime, seasoned players from all throughout the league are still competing at the top level, bringing years of experience, tenacity, and pride to each match. The WNBA wants to make sure that fierce competition never devolves into needless or risky play. Fans adore intensity. They take pleasure in intense rivalries. They are looking for real elite basketball. However, they also demand that each player on the court be treated fairly, consistently, and with respect. That's one of the reasons LeBron James' remarks have sparked so much debate. LeBron James, one of the greatest basketball players in history, knows what it's like to play under constant pressure and deal with the best physical defense. His message went beyond just being tough. It was about safeguarding the game's integrity and ensuring that basketball skill, not controversy, continues to be the major focus. There's no doubting that LeBron James' remarks have sparked a significant discussion, regardless of whether people share his viewpoint or think the circumstances have been overstated. A crucial subject is still being debated by fans, pundits, retired players, and media figures. What should happen when the league's biggest stars are the targets of increasingly physical play? In order to protect player safety and maintain the competitive aspect of the game, should league administrators adopt a more assertive stance? Should dubious plays result in harsher fines from the league? Or is this just a fact of professional basketball? Everyone seems to have a different viewpoint and opinions are divided. But one thing is certain, Caitlin Clark has not let controversy, physical defense, or outside criticism define her career. Instead, she continues to compete at the top level and demonstrate why so many people think she is the sport's future. One of the main reasons she is still respected and supported by basketball fans worldwide is her tenacity. In the meantime, the WNBA is receiving unheard of attention. Arenas are full, social media conversations are getting bigger every day, television ratings are still rising, and countless new fans are learning about women's basketball for the first time. These kinds of circumstances have an impact not only on a single player or team, but also on how the basketball world perceives the league as a whole. Every game will become progressively more important as the season progresses. And Caitlin Clark's games will be followed more intently than before. LeBron James' remarks have generated a debate that has only increased awareness of the league and its top players. Every contentious play will be examined. Every officiating choice will be discussed, and each game will turn into a new narrative in one of the WNBA's most talked about seasons ever. You now have the most important question. Do you think LeBron James' remarks accurately capture the league's present situation? Do you believe that the WNBA is taking adequate precautions to safeguard its players while maintaining the physicality and intense competition of the sport? What effect do you believe the whole thing will have on Alyssa Thomas, Caitlin Clark, and the league's future? I sincerely want to know what basketball fans around the world think. So, please share your thoughts in the comments section below. Thoughtful debate is what makes this community so unique, so your viewpoint might even be included in a future video. Make sure to press the subscribe button, enable notifications, and never miss another upload if you like this breakdown and want more in-depth basketball analysis, exclusive updates, and the biggest news concerning the WNBA, NBA legends, and Caitlin Clark. Every night, basketball history is being created. Thank you so much for your amazing support and for watching. Until then, be careful. The narrative is only getting started. You won't want to miss the upcoming chapter since it might be even more significant. Make sure to subscribe, enable all alerts, and keep checking back for our most recent updates and in-depth basketball coverage. Please share your thoughts in the comments section. Subscribe and enable all notifications so you don't miss anything. We'll see you in the next one after you click the video on the screen.